Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Hind.
And I'm Caddy 409.
We're back to Danganronpa IF.
Yes.
Over 10 minutes had passed. The sound
Danganronpa
of the students leaving the gym and making their way to the nurse's office rang throughout the hall. Genocide Jack had continued to dodge Sakura's attack with her tricky movements. When Byakuya blurted out, "Enough already, you irritating pervert!" Genocide Jack stopped in her tracks.
Oh, is this all her? Oh boy. That's too early for this.
Oh god.
Hold on, I got...
You gotta take another shot of coffee? I'm not hearing you right now. I don't know if you're talking. Oh no.
Shit, my fucking mic.
Okay.
I just did all of that. Okay.
Okay.
Let's try that again.
Let's try it again.
Okay, I chugged coffee.
Okay.
Alright. Oh my! Getting chewed up by the bespectacled Byakuya is making my masochistic side get all tickly! They say the lines you say to get a masochist is paper thin, but in my case it's more like a Venn diagram! Words can't explain these hot waves of passion scurrying from the top of my head to the tips of my toes!
As she rambled incoherently about Byakuya, the other students tied her up with a microphone cable from the gym and locked her in a room. Half of the students stayed behind to keep an eye on her, while the rest left to search the grounds at the school. I like how they didn't mention which ones. As soon as the nurse's office opened, Kyoko saw a non-functioning Monokuma with a hole in its chest and the remains of a surveillance camera. It wasn't just in the nurse's office, though. On their way there, the students had seen several destroyed cameras and scattered Monokuma bodies. It's a clear violation of the school regulations, but if Mikura was allied with Monokuma, those regulations would apply to her anyway. The Monokuma inside the gym was no longer moving, and the students had lost the contact with the hacker, Bashiki Madarai. So
real quick.
Yes.
Off screen, Kevin and I had noticed that there's a disclaimer at the top of the screen that says that there are characters that, or
there's
are
references to
Zero. And
yeah.
the Madarai thing is... It's a Japanese pun that I can't explain and won't explain for the continuity purposes of the video. When we get to Zero, when we get to where that reference is relevant, I will explain it.
Okay. Alrighty then. Anyhow. So, the students assumed that Madara had taken control of a different Monokuma and went after Mukuro on his own. With that in mind, Kyoko turned and looked inside the nurse's office once again. The nurse's office. It was unusually quiet, the beds were empty, but Kyoko could see even the bloodstain that someone had been resting there recently.
Mondo.
Oh, okay. Looks like they're already gone! Mondo remarked, but as he was about to leave, Kyoko spoke up behind him.
I'm going to stay here with Chihiro and search for clues.
What? Oh, I don't know if I want to be dragged into this, actually. Huh? Asked Chihiro timidly, her eyes widening. Clues? Kyoko continued to speak in a calm tone of voice.
Yes, there may be some clues in these Monokuma remains. I figured you would be the best candidate for investigating machinery.
Sakura spoke up. I like how Chihiro was on team investigate and not team stay behind and look after after the murder machine. Also like how both Sakura and Mondo are here. Who's guarding her?
Fucking Hina.
Yes. They left the idiot squad with her, yes. AKA like Hina and Hifumi. They are so dead.
Like Hifumi being there with the. Oh wait, no. Jill likes fanfiction, so I was about to say like Jill could fight with Hifumi and get distracted, but no, she likes fanfiction.
Yes. They'll argue over ships.
Yes, they'll argue over ships. That's what they'll do.
God damn it! Sakura spoke up. Well, isn't that dangerous? Since Sakura could clearly hold her own in a fight with Mukuro, she had joined the other students in searching the school grounds. Kyoko shook her head and replied,
I'm sorry to say this, But if things get out of hand, Chihiro and I will just be in your way. I think it's better if we search for clues here instead of doing nothing. Besides, we might be able to use Monokuma's parts to detect any radio broadcasts from the outside world.
And Kyoko became like a part robot because your mic's being stupid.
Oh,
It's okay.
it's my internet is taking a gigantic shit. It's been acting up since the other night, and I noticed my router went off at like 2 in the morning, and it hasn't been working since then.
Yeah, it's just kind of doing it, but it's all right. It'll add to the charm.
Yes, we all knew Kyoko was a robot.
Yeah,
Because all of the main characters' girlfriends are robots.
this is true.
You certainly have a point. Understood. We'll be exploring this floor for a while. Please shout for us if anything happens.
Sakura left the nurse's office. I still like how my biggest complaint or biggest plot hole in this whole story is the fact that the nurse's office is already open.
I like how the writer hand waved it away. It's all Monokuma opened it because he felt it because, like, Makoto was sick.
Yes, clearly.
I like how the writer just kind of hand waved it.
Oh, I guess that's me.
That's Chihiro, I'm sorry.
How did she destroy Monokuma like this? As Chihiro cautiously stood over Monokuma's remains, Kyoko started searching through the room. She zeroed in on one of the beds and began studying it intensely. A moment later, Kyoko was satisfied with what she found and let out a small sigh before she spoke.
Let me apologize to you in advance, Chihiro.
Huh?
I dragged you into this gamble of mine, so if anything happens, run out into the hallway and call for help.
Well, what does that mean? But instead of answering Chihiro's question, Kyoko started talking to one of the empty beds.
Let me say this first. I'm prepared to hear your story, no matter how ridiculous it may sound. I promise not to decide if it's a lie or the truth until I've listened to it in its entirety.
Chihiro looked
and did she notice that Mukuro was under the bed or something?
probably inside the mattress, even though there's no mattresses on these things.
Yeah, or like under the covers or something somehow.
Yes. Chihiro looked confused. She didn't understand what Kyoko meant at all. The ultimate... Huh? Lowered their eyes and turned to the ultimate program to make a request.
Chihiro, does your laptop have a voice recording function? And do you also have a microphone?
Huh? Yeah.
I want you to use that to record everything we're about to hear.
Huh? But there's no one here. As Chihiro wandered to his house, she began connecting Monokuma's parts to her laptop and turned on the record function.
I'm
sure we'll pick up every sound in this room now, said Chihiro nervously. Satisfied, Kyoko nodded and once again started talking to the empty bed.
So what were you going to do if I told everyone that I'd found Makoto?
What if I told you? When she heard Kyoko say that, Chihiro looked back at her and was surprised by what she saw. At that very moment, Britannia burned, and the ultimate programmer was kneeling on the floor next to Monokuma's remains. From that position, she was able to see it. Of all the beds in the nurse's office, there was one bed in particular that could be seen from the entrance. Underneath that bed lay a limp Makoto. A blood pack was hidden next to the bed and slowly providing Makoto with its transfusion. The contents of the blood pack were clear. Rather than blood, it seemed to be some kind of saline solution. I don't know how you say that word. Use an emergency hydration. Though it wouldn't be as effective as an actual blood transfusion, it was enough to keep him from going in shock. Though that was the extent of Chihiro's medical knowledge. Which was surprisingly extensive, I gotta say. I wouldn't have guessed that immediately.
Actually, it's funny that they mentioned that, like, this is something that anybody would know, but I wouldn't have known that, like, well, I mean, obviously, intravenous hydration is important, like, if you're, like, sick.
Yeah.
But if you're bleeding out, I don't think an IV will help. I think you need a blood transfusion.
Yes. She was always surprised that Makoto had been in the nurse's office this whole time. Also, did they have, like, a scene where, like, they discovered the body and the screen went all funky, and then there was the ho ho ho, or whatever that noise is?
Oh!
You know the ones.
Yes.
Not only that, but Kyoko wasn't talking to the bed Makoto was under, which sent chills throughout Chihiro's body. However, there was nobody under the bed that Kyoko was facing. The moment Chihiro noticed that, a voice rang out from underneath it.
These voices are too similar. As soon as everyone's attention was focused on Makoto, I was planning on taking advantage of the opportunity to take someone hostage.
As Chihiro cautiously lowered her head until it was nearly touching the floor, she was able to make out who was talking. Surprisingly, the person hanging in there was clinging to the frame of the bed. You know, with how thin those things are, you would definitely notice.
You would have definitely noticed that, yes.
Like a ninja clinging to the ceiling. See, if she was actually on the ceiling, I would have bought it. But
Yes.
now I'm like, I don't know about that. Presumably, if someone had glanced at the bed quickly, they wouldn't have noticed anybody was there. No, Chihiro had no idea how the person was able to hide under the bed for so long. She could at least understand that this strength was beyond normal human levels. There was no question that the person hiding under the bed was Mukuru Kusaba.
But you pretended not to notice. Why?
Mukuru's voice was cold as ice, but Kyoko didn't even flinch as she responded.
Because I wanted to hear your story. I knew you were hiding under that bed. Compared to the others, the frame was slightly more pronounced.
Chihiro tried comparing the beds to see if this was true, but she couldn't tell the difference at all. Only Kyoko's natural observation skills could let her to see something like that. Mukuro seemed to come to a similar conclusion and appeared from under the bed without making a sound. Her face was stoic and cold. Compared to the bomb inside Monokuma, Chihiro thought she was even more terrifying. However, Mukuro ignored Chihiro and shifted her gaze at Kyoko. She leaned against the wall and let her arms fall to her sides as she threw out another question.
Why do you want to hear what I have to say?
Kyoko thought about this simple question for a while. She was searching within her own heart for the answer.
If I have to provide an answer, it's because I wish to remain neutral.
Kyoko quietly looked down.
I'm currently missing most of my memories. I don't know who I am or what talent I had to be accepted into this school.
She could hear Chihiro gasp behind her, but Kyoko didn't mind and continued.
I like how I'm just kind of here.
Yeah,
I'm not really doing anything.
I sure am in this scene. I'm sad that I'm in this scene.
I like how Chihiro's just kind of here.
Because she had, like...
Elite hacksaw skills.
Well, she had, like, one line in everything else up to this point.
Yes. But even so, I believe I should listen to what you have to say. Regardless of whether you're good or evil, I must hear all the facts in order to know the truth. Good or evil don't matter. I'll come to a conclusion based on what I see and hear. I think it's the methodology that's been instilled into me.
That's all you.
Oh. I wanted to see who it was that spoke. I see. I completely forgot you were like that, Kyoko. But before I listen to what you have to say, I'd like to ask you one question first. What is it?
Mukuro's reply was completely emotionless. Kyoko presented her question as if she were asking of herself as well.
What was my talent that allowed me to enter this academy?
The answer to that question was simple.
Kyoko, you're the ultimate detective.
That answer marked a turning point for both girls.
Thank you. I have a better understanding of this situation now.
Kyoko slowly raised her hand and presented a theory.
If my memory loss wasn't just a coincidence, then your group has the ability to erase people's memories. With that in mind, if we take into consideration the situation that unfolded in the gym earlier, I can only come to one possibility. Possibility? Yes. What you said to Byakuya when he thought you were taking Toko hostage. You claimed that they met 2 years ago. It's possible that might actually be true. If only it was resolved this fucking easily in the actual game.
Yeah. The fact that Makoto called out Mukuro's name, the things that Mukuro confirmed and denied, Genocide Jack's outlandish claims. What about the orgy?
Yes, I'm talking about the orgy.
These key factors... These key factors that Kyoko noticed using her special observation skills were converging in her mind to form one answer.
It's possible that Byakuya and Toko's memories were erased, like mine, but I don't think that their circumstances are quite the same as mine. But if our memories can be controlled so freely, it calls into question whether the day Monokuma appeared was really the same day we entered the academy. Like you said, it's possible we've known Toko and Fukawa for the last 2 years.
Well, what do you mean? Chihiro cried, still working on connecting her laptop to Monokuma's parts. Kyoko continued, speaking to both Chihiro and Mukuro.
We thought that we were knocked unconscious with the sleeping gas the moment we arrived in the school, but it's possible that we were simply made to think that that happened. For example, we may have already spent the last 2 years at Hope's Peak Academy, and our memories of that time are completely erased. It's even possible that we weren't even ultimates at all, just random people who were implanted with 16 years worth of false memories.
Now, what if that were true? That would make a pretty
God.
interesting story.
Why can't we read about that story?
That sounds fucking fascinating in AU where they're all just normal kids and they
Okay, pro tip when you're writing an AU, don't mention a better AU.
Yes, don't mention a more interesting AU.
Yes. Kyoko, no Kokyo's can't. La 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 la. No, Kyoko's claim sounded ridiculous. Her face was completely serious. She looked up at Mukuro once again.
Which means I'm considering the possibility that your crazy story is actually the truth.
Kyoko's declaration filled the room with silence. You know, because we have the two loudest characters in the series in this room.
Yes.
But she didn't let that silence overwhelm her. Kyoko cut through it with her own words.
Without evidence, all I can do is make hypotheses. That's why I want to hear what you have to say, Mukuro. I have no intention of blindly believing what you're going to say, or what that self-proclaimed hacker who took over Monokuma said.
She paused and lowered her eyes again, then declared with powerful determination.
Even so, I intend to come to a conclusion as fairly and objectively as I can, but I can only do that if you trust me and tell me the truth.
Kyoko's conviction was clear from her voice. Mukuro's eyes narrowed slightly, and a tapestry of emotions flashed across her face. She looked towards Kyoko. When she opened her mouth, her expression and voice were completely devoid of emotion, which I think they have been, because it's been described to be that way multiple times throughout the scene already.
To say, this fucking writer sucks! He says the same thing like 8,000 times! We get it! Mukuro's pretty stoic.
Like, I'm noticing it now, because I'm like, yeah, I think you've said this like twice already.
I noticed it about the third time you did it. You could stop doing that.
Oh my god.
Seriously, knock it off.
Yes.
That's right. I completely forgot. You were like that.
Mukuro repeated this to herself softly, then faced Kyoko and declared,
That must be why Junko took care to erase more of your memories compared to the others. Very well. I'll tell you everything.
After Mukuro placed Makoto back onto the bed, she began to mechanically tell a story?
Yeah, because she's stoic and she's like a robot, get it?
Oh.
Because I'm Gothic.
Oh yes, get it? The story of a girl who wanted to fill the world with despair. A girl who only felt truly happy when she was filled with despair herself.
That doesn't make any sense, but go on.
Yes, I've pointed that one out before.
Yeah, no, it doesn't quite make much sense.
Because by this game's terminology, that would mean that, like, the despair would turn into hope for her, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally how the logic of this game works.
But
that's the hypocritical way that she is, so.
Yes. A plan for despair that began 2 years. I guess you know. Actually, now that I think about it, that might be the exact point. Is the fact that
that is the exact point? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which is why the hope is technically just outright better, is because it.
Yeah, that's why it's stronger and better and everything.
See, it actually makes sense as to why it is in this case. So I'm actually.
Yes.
Kudos. I appreciate that. Plan for despair that began 2 years ago, or perhaps even earlier than that. How the world was currently ruled by despair itself. Mukuro provided a brief summary of everything she knew about the plan. That's why it sounded even more outrageous than Kyoko had expected. And through his story, Kyoko was able to learn the truth about herself. Who is she, and why she came to the academy? The fate of the academy's real headmaster, Kyoko's father. As she listened to Mukuro's story, Kyoko remained silent the whole time. Her face went blank when she learned her father had died. Perhaps the memory loss and the absurdity of the situation helped lessen the impact somewhat, but there was no guarantee that Kyoko would even believe her story. After Mukuro finished speaking, Kyoko stayed silent. With unrivaled mental powers, she was able to listen to Mukuro's story without interrupting her or dismissing it as nonsense. Mukuro continued. You know what? Actually, I think that's decency. That's not so much mental prowess.
And Kyoko is the one person that's like going to listen to her, because at this point, what does Mukuro have? Like, what reason does she have to lie? She doesn't have a reason anymore.
No, but I know, but it said like, oh, well, she like let her talk. I'm like, yeah, okay, any decent person would at this point. If you asked her to tell her story,
and Kyoko's not the type of person that'll interrupt you.
Yes. Mukuro continued.
You don't have to believe me. After all, any pictures that could prove my story are with Junko. All I can do is talk.
After she said that, Mukuro silently walked toward the entrance of the nurse's office. When she arrived at the door, she spoke again without looking back.
But even if you don't believe me, you still listened to everything I had to say. So, Kyoko, Chihiro, thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I was just kind of along for the ride from this one.
Yes.
After apologizing in such a strange tone of voice, she turned to the bed where Makoto lay, breathing weakly.
Make sure Makoto stays rested. When he wakes up, make sure you give him some sports drinks from the dining hall or supply room to drink. Please. Of course, but what are you going to do now?
Asked Kyoko. Mukuro straightened herself up.
Despair.
Excuse me, I think I need to take that one. Despair!
I need to make Junko feel despair.
Mukuro continued mumbling to herself as she opened the door.
There's nothing I can do. No, there is something you can do.
Huh?
Regardless of whether Monokuma is really Junko, Enoshima, or Bishiki Madurai, if you're dealing with him, you won't be able to lay a finger on Makoto. I don't fully trust you, but if you're concerned for Makoto's life, I'm willing to work for you, or willing to work with you, unlike Bishiki, who's probably abandoned him already. Right? Sorry, I didn't see that word.
Okay, just hold on a second, because you're being fuzzy. You're fighting the Frizzies at 11.
Fighting with Frizzies at 11.
Okay, you're better.
I'm sorry. I don't really work well with others.
Mukuro looked away and bowed her head as she left the nurse's office.
But, I'll do my best.
Where's Fire Emblem Heroes when I need it? I'll
do my best!
Wait, no. Nah, I would have to boot up the game. That's not what...
I have the game right here. Hold on.
Do it.
Yes.
You know...
But when does she say it? When you move her?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Then I can do this.
Okay.
This will be very much worth it, I promise.
Give us about 2 hours, and we'll figure this out.
Yes, we'll get it. Hold on.
Do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. It's a hold music, do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Hold music!
Hold music!
I mean, I gotta take over now. I mean, there's nobody else to do it.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. It was pointless, but it needed to be done.
Nino's a good daughter.
Yes. The doors closed and Mukuro was gone.
I'm sorry for involving you in something so dangerous, Chihiro.
She continued to organize the vast amount of information Mukuro gave her. Kyoko turned to Chihiro, who was still working on Monokuma. She trembled with fear. Chihiro slowly looked back at Kyoko. Kyoko? About what Mukuro said just now? Kira's face turned pale as she struggled with her words, and Kyoko tried to calm her down.
Look, we can't determine if anything she told us was true or not. There's no need to be afraid.
But Chihiro shook her head and returned to looking at her laptop. I think she's telling the truth.
What are you basing that on?
Well, it looks Monokuma is really being controlled from the outside. Part of Monokuma's systems had been connected to Chihiro's laptop, and she was analyzing the data within its control system. It was then that the ultimate programmer noticed something unusual about it. Although, contrary to popular belief, it is not unusual. His control program. I thought it would be another year before the system became fully operational. Chihiro started simmering so much that she was unable to continue speaking.
We can't confirm that.
Said Kyoko, proposing another possibility to avoid jumping to conclusions.
It's possible that a similar program was being developed in secret.
Well, Chihiro adamantly shook her head and said, No, that's not it. It just looks really familiar to me. Kyoko looked over at Chihiro's trembling shoulders to peer at the screen, and that's when she noticed.
This program. Chihiro, did you create this?
All the ultimate programmer could do was nod weakly. Diamond, not filled in diamond.
That's the one claim that this book does make that is generally considered to be canon.
I figured, but I also assumed that it's not, that either it was, like, repurposed from something else, or, like...
It was repurposed from... It was repurposed to be used for Monokuma, yeah. Basically, I'm assuming Junko stole it.
Yeah. Like, I was gonna say that, or on the other hand, forced her to make it before the memory wipe, perhaps. Like, either way, something could have happened.
That's the one claim that this book makes, is that Chihiro, like, made Monokuma either inadvertently, it got stolen, whatever. But
yeah, I believe
that's generally considered to be true.
I believe that.
Whether or not that's never mentioned in any of the canon works, but, like,
I like that better
it
than...
makes so much sense that why not?
I like that explanation better than Junko somehow managed to, like... graduate in robotics, like, over a year, and somehow managed to, like, build the whole thing from scratch, because, like...
it's assumed that Chihiro was working on this and she just stole the code.
Yes.
Which makes perfect sense, and that actually clears up that very minor plot hole.
You know, oh my god, you know what's really funny then? From there, you can assume that maybe she was already, or he. Let's
sorry, we're misgendering him. I'm sorry.
It's because he is a guy.
Yeah, but, whoops, oh my god.
I was gonna poke fun at that earlier. It's like, oh yeah, just spoil that Kyoko's dad is the headmaster and that she's the ultimate detective, and mention the whole Genocide Jack thing. But Chihiro is definitely a girl, guys.
Yes, I like how they still refer to them as a girl.
Like, I mean, in character it makes sense because obviously they wouldn't know, but like out of verse, like.
But the chapter was from Chihiro's perspective, wasn't it?
Vaguely. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, what's funny is that I like to imagine that Chihiro just made this, like, robot bear that could be controlled, and it was just a regular bear, and then basically what Junko did to the bear...
The paint job.
...is what Monokuma ended up doing to Monami in the second game. Like, it's the exact same thing.
Yes, that's exactly what you did.
And that's really funny to me how that, like, it happened twice. And it's also funny because it literally happened twice.
Yes, and it's sort of like it rhymes, but like in a very like
it's like poetry
ironic kind of way. It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Well, to be fair, Danganronpa 2 does purposely have a bit of poetry like that, so I do like that.
It would only add to it, add to the experience.
Yeah, so I do appreciate that. I like this explanation. I'm fine with. It's good. It's fine.
Yes.
Again, I like it better than Junko randomly knowing how to
so
do this,
while
because
technically it's not 110% canon, it didn't come out of Kodaka's mouth. It's basically generally considered to be canon.
yeah, because like
nothing has contradicted it, as far as I know. Maybe the anime has, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
know. But what I'm saying is that, like, as it stands already, Junko already has the power to have many powers sometimes. So the fact that she didn't also do this, I like that explanation better. Because actually,
yes, because she would totally steal something from Chihiro. Like, why wouldn't she?
Because, I mean, Chihiro is not necessarily a
she
person to not be...
Because, like, basically, she could have stole the code from Chihiro and then told Kazuichi, hey, make this robot for me. Or
sure, I mean, honestly, why not?
Because she has someone that could build robots for her. It's but she didn't have someone who could code for her, and that would be Chihiro, and just steal it from him.
Or just flat out threaten him.
Yeah, because you could corner him and be like, yo, bitch, give me your fucking robot, or I'll beat you, or I'll kill you, or whatever.
Hey, Chihiro, how's it going, dude? And then, oh no, okay, just say what you want.
Whatever you want.
Anyways, I think it's time we go to, first floor, main hall!
Oh, that's the end of the chapter, so if you want to end episode here, you can, or if you want to keep going.
It's kind of early, I think, so let's just keep going.
Okay, then let's just do chapter 4 and 5.
Yeah, we'll just cut it later.
Yes.
Mukuro continued moving forward and was fortunate enough to not encounter Sakura or Mondo. With no interference from anyone, she made her way to the hall as large as a gym and stood before the sealed main entrance. Never before have entrances been this sealed. We get the point.
I love you.
Yes. Suddenly, Monokuma popped from the shadows to block her path. With his hall that resembled a nuclear bomb shelter, replete with all manner of heavy weaponry. I don't know what that word is. Monokuma's silhouette was conspicuously out of place here.
Yeah, I guess it's replete.
Replete, I guess, yeah. His laughter rang throughout the room as he wiggled his body from side to side. Ooh, yeah! Woo, yes! Watch me shake my buns!
Oh my god.
What were you doing at the nurse's office? Did you eliminate your rival for Makoto's affections? Or did you help play matchmaker instead? Either way, don't you think it's kind of adorable to put Mikoto and Kyoko in this situation together? If this were a suspense film, those two would be the last couple standing. Which is funny because that's what I predicted to be the case initially. But, if this was a horror film, they'd just die anyway. Except not necessarily. The killer was alive all along! Splat! There goes the blood! Plop goes the meat! And Chihiro's turned out to have a dick! I'm a huge fan of endings where the characters think they're gonna live, but they're really headed to final destination! Wait, what the hell is a tenation? What does that even mean? Despite Monokuma's angry complaints, Mukuro remained unperturbed. She continued to stare icy daggers at Monokuma as she waited for him to finish speaking.
Why is that, like, bolded? Is she literally going to start stabbing ice daggers into him?
Yeah, she has the power to summon ice daggers.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I'm so sad right now. A regulation-breaking delinquent is disrupting the harmony of this peaceful academy. I can't even keep one of my students from running wild. Time to say goodbye to your incompetent headmaster. I'm gonna use Monokuma Evolution to become a big Magnum Hat Smasher that'll mold you into a decent student. As soon as he sat down, Monokuma extended his claws and waddled towards Mukuro. So if I'm gonna mold you, then I gotta kill you first. Right as he finished speaking, Monokuma suddenly charged at Mukuro like a spiked volleyball. But Mukuro was faster and dodged Monokuma's attack. She jumped back, keeping her distance from Monokuma just in case his claws could extend even longer. Just then, a shadowy figure appeared next to her. Mukuro twisted her body to its limits Everybody to the limit! Everybody come on for hookah 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 god! God damn it. I asked my friend Joe, I asked my friend Jake, and they said it was who it is.
That's probably who it is.
I guess I just feel sorry for you. Anyway, she just narrowly avoided the figure's attack. When she landed on the floor, she immediately saw... with a double quote at the start. So, what does the immortal killer want anyway? Are you gonna tell the others the truth and escape with them? Even though you know what the outside world is like right now. Two Monokumas were speaking to Mukuro in unison. God, how am I gonna do this?
It just like cup your hand around your mouth.
Honestly, I don't mind if you do that. I can just imagine the look on everyone's face when they discover the truth. It fills me with so much heart-throbbing excitement. The two Monokumas continued to speak in stereo sound. You said you'd destroy my plans, but there's no happy ending waiting for you, no matter what route you take. And you only have one person to blame for that. Don't tell me you thought it'd be grateful to you. Even if you guys escape here, do you think they'll still forgive you when they get a whiff of that nasty air outside? Ooh. Some of them might prefer to stay in this school, and some of them might resent you for being kind and showing them the truth. But then again, this is all your fault anyway, so it doesn't really matter what they think of you. Monokuma made a little mistake. Despite facing down two Monokumas, Mukuro's expression didn't waver. She understood that controlling two Monokumas simultaneously was a piece of cake for Junko. Mukuro drew an arm-length metal ball from seemingly nowhere and readied herself. Okay, she literally pulled that out of her ass.
Yes.
It was the remains of the IV stand from the nurse's office, sharpened into a pointed weapon. With her weapon in hand, Mukuro responded in a cold, mechanical tone.
I hate this fucking story. That's fine. I'm already used to that.
That's fine. I'm already used to that.
Yeah, basically. I can't do that.
None of the fear she felt when Monokuma suggested that Makoto would blame her appeared on her face. Her path was clear to her now, and she calmly issued the demand to Monokuma.
Junko, open the gates.
The shock of such a straightforward demand left both Monokumas momentarily speechless. As soon they replied. Also, yeah, of course they were both left speechless, because they're controlled by the same person. So if one of them talks, both of them talk. Huh? Why? So we can all
leave together.
Oops. No straightforward answer. Both Monokumas faced each other and began gesturing as if they were whispering to one another. Mukuro knew they was intended to mock her. Unmoved, she continued to speak to Junko directly.
I think they'll understand once I show them the outside world. Then they'll stop doubting Makoto.
You'll always find new ways to disappoint me, Mukuro. Did you forget why the school is an air filtration system? It's true that the air outside is polluted. No.
It's true that the outside air is polluted, but I don't think it'll kill us immediately. Clearly it won't, because humanity still fucking exists.
Yeah. It might, make children evil, but...
Yes. Also, am I the only person that thinks she was just fucking lying about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
I think that was, a bald-faced lie.
Yeah, I honestly think that she was, because,
because clearly,
that would be, the last...
exist on the outside world.
That would be, the last resort to make them stay, is to be oh, yeah. And seeing as, beyond this point, like, not everybody is constantly wearing, like, gas masks, I think we're fine, okay? I think we're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, the brief moment we see the outside world and at the end of 2, everything is fine, and it's assumed that more people exist.
And everything is like bright and shiny too. It's like it's
so,
like the least bad anything could be.
That is a remote island that they're on, but like still,
True,
everything
and
seems
like
to be fine.
time had passed at that point, but like it yeah, I don't know.
So like I think that was just a lie. I don't think that's actually true.
I like to believe that that's a lie as well. So the fact that
No,
she's
of
telling
course,
Mukuro this either implies that she doesn't know, or
that she's just lying again for whatever reason.
or that it is the
She's a liar.
truth, which everything else seems to contradict. So either way, it's
Yeah,
kinda
no,
weird.
I don't actually think that that's true.
Anyways, I think it's your line still the last one. Besides,
Besides, it's better than being trapped in the school and forced to kill each other.
how can you be so sure others will go along with you? You know what I mean, right? Before the former headmaster got turned into space dust, he interviewed the others, and they all agreed that they wanted to stay in the school. Also, he didn't get turned into space dust, he got turned into like a skeleton.
Yes. A very cartoonish skeleton.
Yes. But that was before their memories had even been erased. Do you really want to betray their wishes? Mikura blinked and slowly stepped forward.
Oh. I don't really care about their feelings.
Huh?
You're all I need, Junko. So don't worry. I'm always watching out for you. I'm going to make sure you feel despair, and I'm going to make Makoto, any others, happy. If you want to revel in your own despair that badly, then I'll trust the hope Makoto gave me, and take my chances with them instead of you.
Mikura's brief but powerful words caused the Monokumas to turn and talk to each other again. Oh my, this doesn't look good at all, Monokuma A. This child doesn't realize her own hypocrisy. She's so disappointing that she's starting to reach critical mass, right, Monokuma B? The two Monokumas looked at Mukuro, who seemed ready to destroy them, and said, "What do you think, Monokuma C?" Mukuro was taken aback by their request. There's too many M names. Taken aback by their question. But her instinct suddenly kicked in and she immediately dodged away. At that moment, the third Monokuma claws extended, passed by where her head had been previously. This new Monokuma unit landed with several spins and faced Mukuro, who clung to the remains of the surveillance camera still attached to the ceiling. I agree with you both, A and B. The three Monokumas lined themselves up. To the students locked away inside the academy, this sight would have been akin to a nightmare. Right on! The three units began speaking in perfect harmony as their six eyes looked up to Mukuro. Suddenly, each jumped away in 3 separate directions and kicked off one of the walls. The path of each unit's triangular attack converged at a single point. Mukuro, who was still clinging to the ceiling. She's just gonna dodge, and they're all gonna fly into each other, and they're all gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. She was surrounded by rages up claws coming in at her from all directions. The situation wasn't even a nightmare to Mukuro. Compared to the last time she fended off 3 assassins who had invaded her camp one night, she was still a member of Fenrir, this was nothing. This thought crossed Mukuro's mind as she dangled from the ceiling with one hand and thrashed her limbs around like a tornado. Okay, no, I have to do it now. Oh man, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
I will show you that clip later.
Yes.
Trust me, it's good. Intercepted by this move, the Monokumas fell to the floor with a loud crash. Mukuro landed on the ground and chased after one of them, brandishing her metal bar. Suddenly, she stopped moving and took a huge leap back. One of the Monokumas exploded in a deafening roar. Roar! He had detonated a bomb inside of himself in an attempt to take Mukuro down with him. With her honed battle instincts, Mukuro managed to avoid the explosion. She looked toward the hallway, expecting this explosion to have attracted the attention of Sakura and the others. I like a Sakura.
If there's
like the
one
main
thing I
character.
can say, the battle scenes in this are actually pretty well written.
Yeah, they're fine. But she didn't hear any footsteps approaching. Makuma's voice rang within the dense smoke. Oh, you don't have to worry. I already told the other students to assemble in the cafeteria. They were eager to follow my orders. And then, after I told them I'd disarmed the poison gas and that the special police unit was coming to get them. I'm pretty sure Kyoko and the others are all in the cafeteria by now. Oh, I'm sure Makoto is with them too. How's there a third one again? I thought the other one died. Hey guys, back from the dead, but I'm okay. At least my voice box. At least my voice box still works. I doubt Sakura will get too rough with him, but I'm sure Byakuya will torture Koto once he wakes up. I can just imagine him rubbing salt or pouring soy sauce in his open wounds. Man, I'm getting all hot and bothered right now. What did fucking Genocide Jack take over? She listened to Monokuma's overlapping voices. Mikuro tilted her head slightly and asked,
I'm pretty sure they're going to find out you lied about that special police unit. Are you really okay with that?
No worries, said 4 Monokumas now. Once I've dealt with you, I don't care at all if they find out I was lying. You still don't get it! There's 5 of us now. You're such a disappointment! It suddenly dawned on Mukuro. Not the reason why Monokuma didn't care if the students found out he lied, but rather that the voices of Monokumas in the smoke were gradually increasing in number. Okay, so it wasn't an error. Also, people are gonna think I'm crazy because I'm constantly doing that fucking giggle.
That's okay, your family already thinks you're crazy, same with me.
This is true. The smoke started to clear, the shadows of 3 Monokumas appeared. Wouldn't it be like... Wasn't it like 7 by the end there? Or 6?
Yes.
The one that exploded couldn't have revived, so a new one must have come to take its place. There's no way Mukuro only heard 3 Monokumas talking just now. As if to prove her hearing had been accurate, the Monokumas suddenly made their move. 3 Monokumas bent over and began twirling their upper bodies. From behind them, a new Monokumas emerged like afterimages brought to life. She's using that one attack that's Silver Chariot used that one time. And never again. Actually, no, I think he did one more.
He did use it like twice, yeah.
He used it one more time, but that's it.
Yes.
This second row of Monokumas mimicked the earlier ones with 1 frame of delay, revealing even more Monokumas behind them. Eventually, Mukuro realized that there were 3 rows containing 10 Monokumas each. Oh god. Did you know this is called a circle dance? Monokuma's 30 Okay, I can't do 30 voices speaking in unison. I should definitely edit this video and like overlay a bunch of different...
Yes.
No, I won't.
That would be funny, though.
That would be pretty amazing, though. Spoken perfect harmony is it? Oh wait.
If you ever get bored tonight, you should.
Spoken perfect harmony is it divulges information that had nothing to do with the current situation. Mukuro already knew that Monokumas were positioned throughout the academy, but only Junko knew how many Monokumas were actually existed. Mukuro had no way of knowing if these 30 were part of a larger contingent. The flock of 2-toned teddy bears continued to twirl around, and Mukuro felt like she was being bombarded with hypnotic images. Or at least a pretty cool dance scene, right? Heyo! With faced with this abnormal sight, the ultimate soldier remained calm and maintained her focus. She was nothing like the girl who had panicked earlier when the gym when Makoto was impaled. As soon as she stood before 30 emissaries of despair, she slowed her breathing and allowed her heart rate to accelerate. Wait, hold on. If you slow your breathing, wouldn't your heart rate not accelerate? Wouldn't it slow down?
Yeah, no, your breathing is inversely proportional to your heart rate, because that's how bodies work.
Okay.
If I started hyperventilating, my heart would start racing,
Yes.
and vice versa. That's how bodies work. God damn it.
Also, you said inversely proportionate, but I think you didn't mean that because
I meant to say versely proportionate.
Yeah, because what was mentioned in the story was inverse, but that was incorrect. But yeah,
Yes.
It was instinct, not fear or panic, that sent her blood racing throughout her body, speeding up the reaction time of her cells. As the senses sharpened, the Monokuma began speaking to her again. Don't worry, I'll make sure Makoto doesn't die. As long as everyone lives, I can reset their memories as many times as I want. That's right, all your effort, hope, dreams, and determination are going right in the garbage heap!
You know what? Now that he brings this up, that is a kind of minor plot hole. Why didn't she just ever reset their memories?
Yeah.
I'm assuming because she didn't actually have the power to do that.
Yeah, probably. The Monokumas took turns speaking in groups of 10. The mastermind control of the Monokumas wanted to show off their ability to manipulate them. However, the ultimate soldier knew what the true purpose behind all this was. She strained her ears to their limit. I'm not going to make that joke again. And noticed a certain sound hidden among the Monokuma voices. Mukuro's face remained perfectly still as she kicked off the floor. The floor. The moment she moved to the side, a roaring shook the entrance hall. Ceiling-mounted turrets in front of the gate started raining bullets down on Mukuro. Monokuma was just the mastermind's decoy while she tried to blow her away. As if further trapping her, the Monokumas charged at Mukuro throughout the storm of bullets. Mukuro guessed that the mastermind programmed her movements in advance so they wouldn't get hit by a single bullet. She ran for the gates, evading waves of bullets and claws every step of the way. Programming 30 Monokumas and 2 turrets while also predicting Mukuro's escape route would be considered impossible for anyone. But Mukuro knew it was possible for Junko. As ultimate despair, she possessed despair-inducing abilities that surpassed the capabilities of any normal human. The display of power was only fulfilling Mukuro with despair. Despair. The scene playing out in front of Mukuro was brimming with despair. Delicious, tasteful despair. The adorably deadly Monokumas laughed and danced like reapers as bullets whizzed through the air. It was despair to the point of absurdity, and it was all for Mukuro. In the presence of such despair, Mukuro felt a strange presence. That's you.
Oh! I was looking for the keyword serenity, but you didn't say it. Yeah, okay, no, I see. I was waiting for my cue, and I misheard you.
For me? Junko's doing all this for me? Junko, are you watching me right now?
Of course she is. She's a Monokuma. Don't be stupid.
Yes. Also, I like how when you finally had a line, that's when your internet decided to take on our shit, but it's okay.
Wonderful.
No, it's getting better already. In the end, perhaps Mukuro really was a disappointment. She clenched her fists.
Junko, thank you.
The sound of gunfire overshadowed her whisper, and Mukuro felt completely silent. As when revolted with despair, Mukuro's heart was filled with joy. Though she was filled with emotion, her eyes had lost her sparkle. Like I said, almost said sprinkle. I was like, oh. Mukuro's heart was filled with joy, as her body was filled with bullets. Silence filled the air, even after the gunfire from the turret seemed to stop for a moment. There was only an illusion to the one controlling Monokuma. Something strong enough to silence the gunfire and avoid being picked up by the sensor spread throughout the school with Mukuro at the center. I don't know what the fuck this is gonna be, but alright. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure I do this right.
That final thought, she closed her mouth and turned off her emotions. She ran through the wave of scorching bullets. The air around her began to grow colder. Skull spread into her heart, began to beat in a mechanical fashion. Several seconds later, Mukuro's body and mind melded together and became one with her surroundings. Her temperature now dominated the battlefield. Despair, bullets, and Monokumas filled the area. Mukuro predicted their movements and jumped in the air without hesitation. One of the Monokumas jumped at her, but she avoided his attack, kicked his body, and launched herself mid-air. Bullets pierced through the space Mukuro was previously occupying, and striking the falling Monokuma right through his internal bomb. The impact of the bullet caused it to explode, sending fiery Monokuma parts everywhere. Oh, it feels like Christmas already. It's like Happy Festival fireworks. As she rode the blast wave, Mukuro balanced herself in midair and kicked away 2-3 Monokumas that leapt after her. She moved so gracefully she was practically flying. Though I personally would say it was more falling with style. In contrast, the Monokumas threw themselves into a path of oncoming bullets, exploding one after the other. Some of them exploded near the main entrance, but the blast didn't even leave a scratch. With full control over the entrance hall, Mukuro evaded the bullets and confirmed that the bombs inside Monokumas weren't enough to destroy the door. You know, I know that she's supposed to win, but if there really were, like, 30 Monokumas, wouldn't they just all, like, pile across the entire room and explode all at once, so that, like, no matter where she was, she'd kind of die from the blast?
Yeah.
But that's just me. I should be ultimate despair. Come on, put me in, coach! But she refused to stop. Mukuro needed to get information on what she must do to escape the academy. She had no desire to kill Junko. Mukuro wanted to fill Junko with despair by instilling hope into the future of Makoto and the other students. That was Mukuro's ultimate goal. Get information, in contrast to her determination, her mouth stayed shut. So her determination stayed open? Is that what you're saying? What does that even mean? But this did not mean Mukuro was not currently speaking to Junko. This situation, this battle of death and destruction, was a conversation of sorts for Mukuro. All she knew to do was fight. She thought she wasn't interested in anything else. She thought she didn't need anything else. All Mukuro needed was a sword to fulfill her sister's desire for despair. Need to be was a sword. That purpose alone was the crux of her existence, and she lived her entire life convincing herself that she couldn't do anything else. That's why power was like a language to Mukuro. A battle to the death revealed more about her heart than mere words ever could. Their words are in the wind of savagery that blows across the battlefield, uprooting others who also speak the language of violence. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, chapter... part 4, chapter 17. I don't know. It just sounded like some sort of weird quote. This was true even against the sister. When Junko would berate her sister, Mukuro couldn't talk back. All she could do was cower and apologize profusely. She was just porky, apparently.
Yes.
But it's different now. For the first time, Junko was using a language his sister actually recognized, as opposed to that nasty Japanese she was always speaking to her. The child of despair who tore the world apart, speaking to his sister with the language of power. You know what, actually? That's the end of our show! Donk.